Hello there and welcome to Branding 101. Today we're continuing our campaign as Balenciaga. It's a very popular fashion brand that in the first episode defeated both Germany and the Soviets. There were only really two countries left to deal with, or I guess three countries: Japan, Italy, and America. Also Belgium still exists down here. But this was just my fault. When I defeated them, I forgot to annex this state. First though, we go to Japan. We don't want to wait too long and let them get too powerful. I'll also bring my navy over to the Pacific there so that we can try to invade the mainland too. We also have this nice focus tree from last time that we still have several focuses in left to do. We'll hold off on doing those for now though, because most of the ones we have active involve us needing to go to war, and we already have the two war goals that we plan on using right now. I guess we can justify this one too. And we will start. I will wait for all of my divisions to land safely in Indochina before declaring on Japan, just so our convoys don't get raided to death, but we will start attacking some of these countries, especially because we have so many allies that have so many of their own divisions all going across the Trans-Siberian Railway here. The US is sending us volunteers, very nice. Wait a second, we can actually invite Japan to our faction, and Japan might actually stay in our faction if we invite them because they're not a democracy, so they aren't going to get mad and leave. I'll do it then, why not? One less country we have to deal with. And then they'll have their navy to help too when we fight against the US. So now we will control the French Navy, the British Navy, the German Navy, the Russian Navy, and the Japanese Navy. I'll still design the good ships though. I also noticed too that the Spanish Empire has a war goal against us. They're also justifying a war goal against Italian North Africa. Yeah, this is interesting. They aren't the weakest country ever, but they aren't going to beat us. Okay, and the Spanish Empire did declare war on us. Doesn't look very good for the Spanish. They're attritioning in their own mountains. This is kind of cool too, because now we can retake control over the original Balenciaga branch in Spain. That'll be very nice, so getting back there. Yeah, we're now bringing style to some of these smaller countries now that China has been dealt with. We'll eventually though want to go into Scandinavia. Finland is guaranteed by Poland too for some reason, but since Poland is in our faction and our puppet, I don't think they'll be defending Finland. We'll eventually need to get into Switzerland too, but that's going to be a nightmare. Wait, and Italy will join our faction? I don't know if they'll stay in our faction. They're not as likely to stay as Japan, but I will invite them for now. There we go, great, amazing. And it took a little while to break the Spanish, but we got a good offensive general in charge of this instead of the other defensive, terrible general. We now have the Italian railway guns helping out, and our overwhelming numbers should finally let us push to Madrid and end this whatever rampage that they're going on. In Spain too, last minute before Afghanistan capitulated, formed the Afghanistan Congress Alliance. So we'll now have to capitulate Spain before we're allowed to switch ideologies on Afghanistan. We've actually taken a lot of casualties here too. That's actually kind of crazy. At least we have infinite manpower at this point. But yeah, here we go. We will puppet Afghanistan, and then I think I will just take some states in Spain. It's been a while since we've taken states directly for ourselves, so I think it makes sense because we kind of are the Western Europe conglomerate of fashion. Italy is going to try to take some stuff though, but oh well. And with the help of some cash, it looks like invading Switzerland isn't going to actually be too terrible. And now next too, we will focus on Finland, Estonia, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, and then we should have all of Eurasia under our control. And there's only a few countries left in Africa, a few countries left in Southeast Asia. So yeah, so we'll finally go down to this part of our focus tree here, and then we'll surprise that one island in Canada. This one here, we can't really invade Canada though because they're in a faction with the US, so we will have to wait until we're ready to commit to that. Also, for the record too, last time when I said that Alexander Kerensky was a Kaiserreich reference, I know that he was a real person and he's not just from Kaiserreich, I promise. I'd like me saying Forrest Gump is a TNO reference because George Wallace is in it. Oh no, not the European Defense League. Okay, we're going into Sweden. We'll also now invade the famous African nation of Belgium. This is completely my fault too. We could have just been done with Belgium. I just kind of forgot that there were these states down here that I needed to click on last time, so my bad. We'll also start our efforts in the Americas. If you remember from last time, we paid the US to revoke their guarantees on Brazil, Venezuela, Venezuela and Colombia, so we have free reign, at least for some of these places. Soon though, we're just going to have to attack the US, and there's nothing we can do. Like Japan and Italy, the US is already in a faction, so we have no hope. And attacking Sweden in the mountains up here turned out to be very difficult, so we just naval invaded them, and this appears to be much more easy, attacking from Stockholm rather than trying to get to Stockholm. And attacking into Norway when you don't have Sweden is mildly difficult. Attacking into Norway when you have Sweden is pretty much free, so yeah, that's not going to be a problem at all. We are running into some issues in Brazil because of Amazon. Yeah, when you zoom in on the map close enough to see divisions, this is all kind of crazy. There's so many divisions everywhere. We probably have enough divisions to put a division on every single province in our faction. Funny thing too, I don't think I've ever actually done a world conquest in vanilla Hearts of Iron 4, so this will be a first. Well, this isn't vanilla Hearts of Iron 4, obviously, but I mean with the normal vanilla map. Maybe one day they'll add this to vanilla Hearts of Iron 4, I'm sure they will. Ah yes, and upon declaring on Denmark, they moved a division away from their border, and that is smart. Also declare on Norway now, and we will call Sweden in. Same leader, we've just convinced him to be very fashionable. Honestly though, these Latvian borders are really weird, but this leader, he is the most Balenciagan of all of the non-Balenciaga leaders. This guy, he's very fashionable. And we will finally finish off the Dutch East Indies. When I invaded the Netherlands originally, I should have just sent one guy to walk from this tile to this tile, or I guess we didn't probably own this tile at the time, but I could have just done one naval invasion and it would have made this much easier because we wouldn't have to be doing this entire separate thing right now, but it'll be over soon. Okay, and with Brazil and Argentina finished, it's time that we attack the US. I guess we can also do this focus here to maybe get some more protectorates, but other than that, it's about time. I've already built up Mexico about to the max. I'll build up Bermuda too, and then we should be good. America has about the same number of divisions as us, but our divisions are much better, and we have the entire world in our faction. We'll also have to deal with South Africa too, but that should be easy, and America should be the only major. Time, there's so many divisions here. We have a naval invasion ready. This is going to be very difficult though. We'll just call everybody in. This will take like 10 minutes in real life just because it takes so long to call everybody in at this point in the game and it's so slow. Okay, this is very difficult, but we've taken a couple provinces, so that's good. I don't know how well the Washington DC landing will go. Probably not good. Looking initially fine, but without Marines this late in the game, it's kind of dubious. It looks like they weren't very well defended though, so we should be able to take it. Funny too, South Africa actually left America's faction right before this happened, so now they're just kind of by themselves. We'll deal with them in the future. See, and this here's the reason America is so annoying to invade. They can enact the Homeland Defense Emergency Act to get 20% division defense and attack on their core territory, which makes it a nightmare, but we have infinite manpower and infinite resources, so we might as well just keep battle planning. Panama blew the Panama Canal. That's okay. We're making some better progress now. It seems that we've just battle planned them enough that we're going to be able to brute force our way eventually. Can't really attack over here anymore, which is unfortunate, but maybe we can switch that around once we get green air. Okay, good. The US is going to start running out of fuel now. We're taking over Texas where all of their oil is. Well, they have some oil like in California. Got the main source of oil now, and if we get California too, then they'll just be extra screwed over. Okay, we haven't really made any progress, but I think we should be able to break through with this invasion of Florida. Once Florida is ours, we'll open up a new front. We'll have so many divisions in the south here that they'll be distracted from the other fronts, and if this doesn't work, we can just train more divisions. And yeah, Florida isn't going to hold on. They have some garrisons, but not really enough garrisons to stop this assault, and I really do think this one new front should be too much for them to handle. And we've finally done it. The entrenchment in California and Arizona and New Mexico is too much for us to handle, but over here we're making great progress. We'll have a supply hub built here soon too, so we will be able to finish attacking Canada from the north. Turkey also invaded Vancouver, so I guess it's nice to see that they're helping. Not many of our other allies are helping though. And we're done. We can now take the United States. We'll make sure to take New York specifically too, because if we we take New York, we'll be able to get a core on New York. And then after this, we only have to annex 4 or 5 other countries. That'll all be very, very easy, especially compared to having to fight the US. And yes, now we'll finally do America is Balenciaga, then winter is Balenciaga, and then we will be done. We're so very close. And here we are, finally. Every country is either us, a subject of us, or in a faction with us. So we will do the final show, the final focus. And finally, always only fashion. You are Balenciaga. And that is where we'll end things off. I'll see you all next time.